Hello everybody. Let's just do a quick review of the color ideas that we learned when we were drawing the balloons. And we learned that color has three characteristics. It has hue, which is the color, the chroma. So we have red, blue, and green. And it also has tone, which is the degree of lightness or darkness. So this is a light blue and this is a dark blue. And we have also degree of brightness. So this is a bright green. This is a neutral red, like a brick red. When we create these colors, we want to make sure that we are creating color added mixtures, so that you want to add yellow to the red, you want to add green to darken the blue, you want to add violet to darken the green. And in the real world, light is bouncing around between objects, so you do want the colors to be inside each other. You don't want it to be just a red balloon, just a blue balloon, just a green balloon. That would not be realistic. That would not reflect the actual experience of seeing. When you draw with colored pencils, you want to start out with low density, and then you want to add density to those areas where you want to draw attention. So be careful not to create high density objects way out in the middle of nowhere. You want to create them on your focal point. Now I've already started on my drawing here based on positive negative space, in which we have masks placed around a chair. And I've used my trusty Col Erase pencil, Color Erase, produced by Prismacolor. And it's a color pencil that is easily erasable, hence the name Color Erase. So it's a really nice pencil to have. If you draw with a regular colored pencil, it's going to be really difficult to draw. I mean, really difficult to erase. So for example, I want you to draw the central focal point and make sure that you don't put it smack in the middle. Put it over to one side or to the left, to the top right, anywhere, but just don't put it smack in the center. Okay. When you're drawing your focal point, remember that this happens to be a white mask. Allow your brush strokes to follow the roundness of the form. So cross contour lines, or bracelet modeling, as we also know that it is called. And even though this is going to be my focal point, do not make it super dense from the very beginning. And I am going to sketch in this right here. And then the other horn comes here. There's a horn right there. And I've had a lot of people, a lot of students draw these masks. And you know what the beautiful thing is? That art is an expression, it's a visual expression through a human spirit. And each of us has a different human spirit. Each of us will really and truly create a different image of these objects. And you might also think about the idea that colors, that there are shared colors. So the color that is on the that is on the mask might also be in the background. And then let me start in a new place. Let me start right here. Let's say there's the green chair. Well, there is an amount of green in the air around the green. And then what you want to do is make one side of that edge different. It's very, very dark brown on the chair side of the green chair, and it's much greener on the green side of the green chair. But I have an underlying color that unifies the composition. It is not this part underneath, this rattan part of the chair is going to have green underneath, and it will help unify the composition. Let's see, I'm going to darken this smile right here because that's what I notice. This nose is much darker, but you know, it is darker and it is neutral. So I'm going to add its complement color, green, because I want to neutralize it. And I'm going to add another layer of red because I don't want it to be green first. I want it to be red first. Okay. And I am demonstrating on a sheet of black arches paper, but I really hope that you have a sheet of brightly colored Canson paper, and this will look really beautiful. And you know, this is really green right here. I'm going to add a little bit more white. And layering colors is actually a really smart thing to do. You know, but the green is always going to show through. There you go. And it's really, really bright on that side of the mask. So I'm going to add more density on that side. Okay, I hope this gives you some ideas. Try it out and post your successes on by Thursday on the discussion board, and we'll take a look at them and move on from there. Take care. Give it a try. Hello everybody. Yesterday was such a great day that I could barely see my paper when I was drawing, and I was not happy with how I had drawn or where I had drawn the little yellow animal. So I thought, you know, I'm just going to really concentrate today on drawing the animal by concentrating on the negative spaces that separate the animal from the mask. And the very first space that I see, the very first line that I see that might be helpful to me is the rattan, which is about here. And so here's a negative space here, right there. And then the rattan comes up, and there is this right here, and then it keeps going up, 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 until it meets the chair, which I started over there and then over here. Now I'm going to put it here. I'm going to check that you can actually see that in the drawing. Yes. Okay. And there we go. And then it comes down. But you know what? Before I continue over there, I am going to say that, oops, I'm still not making that high enough, but I don't have enough space for you to see. So I'm going to start the animal here. And that chair is just going to have to go further up. And I am going to have to pull my drawing further down so you can see it. And so now I'm going to draw here, and he comes up, and that's actually the yellow animal, so I'll use a yellow pencil. And then the ear comes this way, and I want to get the negative shape right here. Right there. And there is finally the, okay. And then there's a really strong, I'm just going for the strongest negative shapes. Between the two ears, there is a strong negative shape. So I'm going to go for that. And then above the ear, let's see this. And here is the other ear. And then there is a strong negative shape between, and I'm sorry, this is getting complicated here. This right here. So I'm just gonna, so this is my big negative shape here. Let me erase that so you can see it more clearly. And here is my negative shape, and this is going to be my up and coming yellow animal. And I'm going to, the leg of the chair is here, and there is, let's see, the green chair intercepts at about here. So I have looking at a negative shape here, and then there is that red cloth that is about here, and the yellow animal there we go. And let's see, the next negative shape that I see is actually right between the two animals' legs. It's just barely there. So it's gonna come here and here. And then I'm going to, I do actually see the feet of the animal. And then between the feet, there is a little negative shape, which is really hard to draw actually, but it's right there. And I still am off. So it just goes to show how difficult negative shapes are, because now I have this huge negative shape over here, which is not right. So I can try to get that right. This foot should be there, and if that foot is there, then this is the foot. Then this comes in further, and then there's that little space between the legs, and then here's the there we go. And I'm going to redraw this one. And in the ideal world, I'm going to have this negative shape here. You see that negative shape? See this negative shape? See this negative shape? And just so that you can see more clearly what I've done, this is the result of all those negative shapes. Here's going to be the yellow animal. I'm going to see if I can find a different yellow. I'll use this yellow. It's more of an orange, but well, here we go. So if I color in the places between the negative shapes, I'm going to get the yellow animal. But the negative spaces are really, look at that, that's like a super powerful one. This is super powerful right here. This is super, see, this was a negative shape, and now it's the boundary between the horn and the little yellow animal. And then between these two horns, I'm going to perfect that too. And I'm going to use the brown because that's the rattan between them. And so this one goes like this, and then the horn, this one comes up and it is a little bit higher, so comes up, and then the white mask is behind it. And there is another horn about here, and this one's really hard to draw. I had originally drawn it there, but it's not going to go there anymore. It's going to come here. And then there is another, oh, I see, that was that horn over here. So this is here. They look like candy corn. And that's good. And then the horn bumps into the green leg right there, and the mask bumps into it right there. So you know that I need to correct that whiteness, but it's a really dark area of the rattan. So rather than erasing the white, I'm just going to darken it right in there. Put rattan. There we go. And I'm going to draw here the green chair is going to be here instead. So I'm moving everything around. But there we go. And you can see, okay, I'm going to do one more negative space. I'm going to do the negative space between this horn and the one below it. And so it's really long. It's really long, and it's about up the bottom of the nose, so it's about here. And here is the chair coming this way. And this is not exactly the shape of that negative space, but it's close enough. And there is the other horn. Okay, and so here is the negative space. Alrighty, take care. Hope this has been helpful.